Buying plays an important role in commerce. Buyers try to find the highest quality goods at the lowest possible costs. There are many places from where resources can be bought. Here are a few options. From suppliers in the home, suppliers overseas, directly from the supplier through an intermediary such as a wholesaler or distributor, or by mail order. The amount and nature of resources needed by a business will vary according to each business. Services usually require very few resources since it does not result in a physical product. Before we look at the sources of buying, we'll have to look at the buying process. So just to be clear, we are talking about a business buying resources. Buying usually begins with a requisition form. This would provide a clear description of the quantity and the type of resource required. Next, the buyer would have to discuss terms and conditions with the supplier. We call this stage the buying process negotiation. Then the third step would be placing the order. In the fourth stage, the buyer should chase delivery. This means that if there is a delay in delivery, the buyer should contact the supplier and find out what's wrong. Lastly, when the resource has arrived, they should be checked against the invoice. So the sources of buying. We'll be discussing the different ways businesses can buy resources. Beware, this is a roller coaster of advantages and disadvantages. Our first source is to buy from suppliers at home. This means buying from a supplier in the same country as the business. Advantages: low transport costs, since distance traveled would be less. Communication is easier since they at least speak the same language. Quick delivery is possible. Disadvantages include choices will be limited. Small local suppliers might be less efficient, and keeping out overseas suppliers might lead to lost opportunities. The opposite of buying from suppliers at home is buying from suppliers who are located overseas. This has become more and more common due to globalization, which we discussed in another video. Advantages include a much greater choice. Some goods produced overseas are of higher quality. Buyers will have access to world-class technology and might be able to buy in large quantities. Disadvantages: hidden costs such as tariffs could be found. Different countries might have different industrial standards. Cross-border trading includes unfamiliar documents, and the delivery time and cost would be high. Another few sources of buying are: buyers could buy directly from a supplier. Some advantages include the fact that it is cheaper to buy from a supplier rather than through an intermediary. The buyer would have more control over the production process, and communication would be easier since the line will be shorter. Disadvantages are: a temporary break in supply could cause a shortage for the buyer, and buying directly from one supplier might reduce the variety. Some buyers buy through an intermediary. An intermediary is a middleman between the buyer and the seller. Some advantages are a wide range of choice for buyers, reduced transport costs since buyers can source a wide range of products at the same time. Some disadvantages include an added charge by the intermediary. Intermediaries might not be able to place large orders, and buyers will have less control over the production process. Mail order is placing an order for goods and using postal service for delivery. Some advantages include reduced price, delivery time is short, and global suppliers can be used. Disadvantages include credit might not be possible, returning goods can be inconvenient, and there is a lack of personal contact. Well, that's all for today. If you preferred it instead of a whack in the face with your textbook, then like and consider subscribing.